Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of That's What She Said. Today, I am very, very excited. We have a very fun guest today. Everyone say hello to Emma Norton.
Hi, guys.
Also known as Emma Norts.
Yes, ma'am.
Woohoo!
I'm hyped to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, because I'm
Absolutely.
very, very excited. Now, me personally, I think that you have made most of your, you started on TikTok, obviously.
That I did.
I have been watching your TikToks for the longest time. So
that's so
this
sweet.
is exciting for me. I'm like, wow, I get to see her in the flesh.
Oh, that's so sweet. I appreciate it, for real.
Yes. So we'll get into that in just a bit. TikTok, all that fun internet good stuff.
So fun.
So fun.
So much lore to that.
Yeah, I'm ready to hear it all. So
I'm sure.
we do like to start with something called our spicy spinner. And I'm going to let you spin and land and fill us in with a fun little.
I'm kind of excited.
I'm.
I don't. This is like I feel like I'm on a game show. All of a sudden. Can I just spin it anyway?
Yeah.
It doesn't
Wheel
matter.
of.
Right.
Well, I don't know.
Wheel of
Fortune?
Spice.
No.
Wheel of spice. Yeah, there we go. Ooh.
What's it landing on?
Worst date story.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Oh
Do you need to
no.
spin again? I was gonna say. Sometimes those can be rough.
I'm trying to think because I feel like for people who are unfamiliar with maybe some of the stuff that I do a lot of crazy like makeup looks.
Yeah.
And cosplay and like costume design, fashion, all sorts of things like that. And I feel like there's definitely been like a couple of instances where actually, yeah, I feel like I might have one. But
Perfect.
I'm thinking of a couple though, unfortunately. I wish that I could say like, oh yeah, no, I've never had a bad day.
Yeah, never.
But there was one time somewhat recently. It wasn't bad on his behalf necessarily, but I had just gotten back from a shoot. And in the shoot, I had one hell of a hair artist who put maybe over 300 safety pins in my hair.
Oh.
So, like, the entirety of my hair was, like, fully, like, safety pinned. Like, you could
Ow.
barely, like, see the hair.
Yeah.
I probably have a picture if you guys need it as
Oh my
well.
God, yeah.
I'd gotten out a lot of them, but I was on this date and like I literally tried for like an hour before to try and get all of them out and I couldn't. So I was like mid conversation with this dude and he was like, I think I had like missed a bunch like underneath.
Oh no.
And so he was like helping me get safety pins.
Is this your first date?
Yep.
Oh no.
Out of my hair. So but then I was just like, if we're on a date right now, you have to know what you're signing up for.
Yeah.
And that's constant chaos.
Yeah, 100%.
Whether that be safety pins in my hair or whatever is to come. But maybe what was worse is that I wasn't even like that pressed about it.
No,
I
you're
wasn't
just like,
even that
oh, yeah.
embarrassed because I'm so used to like going out in public when I have like some crazy ensemble on. Hopefully not on dates, but
right.
But it was happening and I didn't want to miss the date. So
Well, no, I feel like that
showed
shows
up
you're
as is.
dedicated.
Yeah, sure.
Shows your dedication.
Yeah.
I want to make it to
I
the
hope
date.
that's what he thought. I hope that's what he thought.
right.
But the date was pretty good. So
Oh, good.
Yeah,
There
no
you go.
complaints.
The safety pins didn't ruin it.
No, but that definitely was a little bit of a bump in the road.
Yeah,
It's not every day that I'm sure he's like gone on a date with some girl that has like 1,000 safety pins in her head.
Reaching into your hair.
So yeah.
He
So
goes in for a kiss. There's
he's like, you need a little help there.
Sorry,
Can
my
you
hand's
imagine someone trying to go into a kiss and like getting safety pins out of my hair?
They get poked. They're
Bro,
like,
I
excuse
can't.
me.
I'm just like, that seems so on brand for like what I'm constantly doing.
Yeah.
No, true dedication
So-
would have been like,
Yeah.
can you take out all my safety
Yeah.
pins?
Yeah, I
you should
really
just
should've.
turn
One
around and
by
let him.
one.
Should have been like a group activity for the date. Yeah. So romantic.
You show up with the full thing.
I bet a girl's never done this with you before.
Right. Now you're
Bye.
memorable, right?
Sure. I'm sure I was. Don't know if it was for the reasons I would like to be remembered for, but nonetheless, hopefully memorable.
So what's the craziest like that you've gone out into public? Like what's the craziest like makeup or like cosplay that you've left the house in?
Well, there's a couple. There was one that did get on the news though, one time.
No.
Which I was not expecting. So this is, I think I have a video about this, but I had just done like 6 hours worth of makeup.
Yeah.
And I was in this blue tiger makeup. I'll have to show you guys a photo of it at some point. But I was in like this full, like, it took me so long and I just remembered that I got a call that I had a doctor's appointment in like 10 minutes. And how long does it take to get to the doctor's office? 8 minutes. So I did not have time to take it off because it takes a very long time to sometimes take those things off. So I was either going to go looking like a blurry Smurf or with the makeup still on. Like, it was going to be stained either way.
Yeah.
Blue makeup stains.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go. So I went to the doctor, and I'm from Colorado, so this is in Colorado. Maybe in Los Angeles, this might be slightly more normal.
They're probably like, oh, another day.
Yeah, they're like, this is LA. Like, we see this every day, but not in Denver, Colorado.
No.
So I walked in there with this blue tiger makeup on, and everyone was, to no surprise, very alarmed. Maybe not as alarmed as I was, but yeah, I walked in there, and then a bunch of them took pictures, and I got like submitted to E! News. And they did a segment on it.
No,
so,
they did not.
Yeah, so I don't regret it, but it was pretty awkward.
You're just like
but
in
I owned
the waiting
it. I was
room.
like, I'm here. It's happening. Nothing's real.
No.
And I just dissociated.
Yeah, because you're like, when will I see these people again?
I was like, I'll just be silly and pretend this isn't actually happening.
Right, just act completely normal. Just don't address it. The doctor's like,
imagine I don't address it.
You're like,
I'm
what?
like, hey, how are you?
Like,
And
this
they're
is
like,
your
oh,
day-to-day
God.
outfit.
Yeah. So every time I went back to the doctor, I was remembered as
They're like, oh,
the chick that showed up in blue tiger makeup.
the tiger's here. The tiger, everyone.
Yeah, something like that. They were like, why aren't you wearing it? The next time I was there, I was
You
like,
might as well just make
for
it a
so
normal.
many reasons.
One, it took 6 hours.
Yeah, one, it took 6 hours. That's a good start. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's one. But honestly, like, I feel like I've gone out so often
Yeah.
in my cosplay. Say if I like forget something for the look.
Oh,
or
yeah.
I'm in like zombie makeup and I need something from Walgreens, I will still go out like that.
Why not? You know?
I have scared so many Uber Eats drivers
Oh my
to
gosh.
absolute death. I'm so sorry to every Uber Eats driver
God.
I have ever had in my life.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, you know, too, it's like, I always say, like, oh, leave it at the door. But then I'm like, they take the picture when I'm like opening the door and like horrendous. I can just imagine you're like in a full zombie, like opening the door to get the
I wish I had that. I feel
That
like
would
every
be so
time it's
funny.
been like them being super confused, so I'd have to like go down and I'm just like, oh God.
Great, yeah.
I'm like, do I tell them in advance? Am
Hey,
I like,
by the
sir,
way-
I'm so sorry. I'm not like a demonic creature.
I'm not like a demon.
I just want my
food.
cheeseburger. Like, it's not that deep. But yeah, that has happened many instances.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. So you said, okay, now I'm curious because for me, it's like, I'm just like not good at makeup. I just don't know. I can't do it. And so I'll be like, I'm going to really try on my makeup today. I'm going to really sit down. I'm going to try. And no matter what, it'll be like an hour max. And I'm like, I like still look the exact same. So what's the longest look? Like, how long did it take you to do? Because I'm so curious. And I can't even imagine.
10 hours.
10 hours.
Yeah, probably 10 hours. I think it was one where, if I remember correctly, it's also difficult because sometimes I can't always take into account how long the actual makeup is taking as opposed to like all of the lighting that I'm doing. And because I'm
Right.
obviously doing it for content
Right,
in most
you're shooting
instances.
for it and stuff.
So I mean, that's a piece of the time too. But there was one time I did like a pop art zombie that was kind of like, you know, like the 50s comics sort of
Yeah.
thing. So it's like a green zombie in that style. And there's a bunch of other ones that took probably around that time too.
Wow.
But it depends if I'm doing multiple looks for like one video as well. But it does take a while. It does not take me 10 hours to do my makeup normally.
No.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I don't know what would be going on if it took me that long.
At least you'd look like flawless, right?
Well, hey, amen. That's
Yeah.
very true. But yeah, so it's taken a long time.
That is, I can't even imagine like sitting.
You have to enjoy it. And you also normally can't eat because
Right,
it'll
'cause
mess
they'll
up the
smear it
makeup.
and
So
mess it up.
sometimes you have to go like a very long time without.
That is just, that's crazy. But that's dedication right
It
there.
is dedication.
I mean,
yeah.
and I gotta say it shows. So you have on TikTok, what, how many? 9?
I have 9.9.
You're almost at 10 mil.
I'm almost at 10 million.
Everyone go to TikTok right now.
right this
10
second.
mil.
Looking at you. No.
Yeah, there you go.
They were telling me before, they were like, if you want to address the camera. So here's me addressing the camera.
Looking at you guys.
Yeah, no, so that doesn't feel real
That
at
is-
all.
That's just gotta be such an insane number that
I can't even think about it. It doesn't, like, I never in a million years will be like, oh yeah, like this is a thing that's happening. So I'm super grateful. It's a
Yeah.
huge privilege to have a platform as dumbfoundingly massive.
Right. Well, because, and that's the crazy thing is like, that's the people that actually like follow you.
Yeah.
Not to mention the people who know who you are, who have seen you so many times.
It's so scary.
I'm like, because I feel like, for me at least, I don't know what everyone else's For You page looks like, but like over the years, you are consistently on my For You page. Like since I would say 2020. Like is that when you started about?
Yeah.
Because you
like
were
during
blonde.
the pandemic.
I remember, girl.
There was
like
a different look.
You were blonde. I was like, oh, she's so pretty. I
Thank
was,
you.
yeah, no. So I remember like 2020.
Oh my God, I'm so honored.
No, but it's just so crazy. I'm like,
Thank
so
you.
many people
Yeah,
know who you
it's
are.
weird for me to wrap my head around just because I feel like it's when you are on social media, it's like I'm interacting with just people who like I don't see in front of me.
Yeah.
I can't imagine like being able to visualize the people who have maybe like interacted with my video. It's wild.
It's
to think about, because also like I did start doing like all of this stuff with makeup and with everything during the pandemic was because we were all losing our fucking minds.
Yeah, like what else are we doing?
And if you weren't, then there's a bigger issue here.
Right, yeah.
Like please call the authorities.
Yeah.
But I mean, like makeup and all of those things and creation online was like my therapy, because you could find like-minded people in like a time where we didn't really have anyone.
Right.
And that still kind of stands, I think, for everything that I am most passionate about and finding community in that. So it's crazy to find that people have resonated with something that was just actually really therapeutic for me.
Yeah. It's just a win all around because, I mean,
Yeah,
something
I
that
guess so.
you love to do and you're so happy with and people love to see. I think that that's really amazing.
It's wild.
But that is a crazy amount. Well, and that's what, too, because like for, like I stream video games and so it's like,
Oh, that's awesome.
but I'll always be like, it's weird, like, it's such a numbers game. Everyone's like, I have these many viewers. I have this many viewers. And so it's hard not to get down on yourself.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times I'll be like, well, I only have like, right now, like when, I'll only have, 600 viewers right now or whatever.
Sure.
But then you're like, imagine if I was standing in front of a room of 600
600
people.
people.
Like that's crazy.
Yep, it is.
So
That's a great way to reframe that, actually. I really like that.
Yeah. Because I was getting so down on myself for the longest time. And I was like, I think back to when I was in college, I had a public speaking class.
Oh, I love that.
I had like 26 people in the class. And I was up there and I was like,
public speaking's hard,
terrified.
though.
I was terrified.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, wait, and now I'll like go live, like no makeup in my pajamas. Like I
as
don't
you should.
care.
No, you shouldn't care. And also like the comparison game is a losing game. If you are constantly comparing yourself to other people, there's always going to be someone who is smarter, prettier, richer, faster, funnier, taller, whatever it is. And I feel like the biggest lesson that I've learned from my time on social media, especially being someone who has a platform, is to make sure that I am not only keeping myself in check in the comparison game, but also like encouraging people around me to know that like just because you see a fraction of my life or you see me with like, a gown on or perfect makeup or whatever it is, it's like there's also the duality of like I just had something really intense happen in my personal life or whatever the issue is at the time. It's like you never know what someone is dealing with, and to compare yourself to only yourself is important. Because I know that me, even though I might have X amount of followers, there are still times where I have to like put myself in check and be like, damn, like it's not enough. Like, but you have to be the person to remind yourself that you're enough, because no one else 100%. Is going to be able to set that in stone for you except for yourself. That's not to say that I'm perfect at it, but I certainly try.
I think
that's all you can do.
Being a creator, that has to be, I think, your number one priority.
You have to.
Because
you have to.
You will never be happy. You'll never be happy. And I think, especially like, I mean, I still struggle a lot with it, but I come more to terms with this, like, okay, they are their own people, you are your own person, things like that. But I see my friends and I see how it's, it's a competition. Oh, I got to do this then. I got to one up. And I'm like, you are like playing a losing game. Like you're not going to win that.
Game. You never will.
No.
I know that I've felt so many times where I'm spending too much time on my phone, like going through people's stories. I feel like I actually don't watch a lot of people's stories anymore.
No.
Because part of me sometimes feels like there's like FOMO or
like what?
Oh, I'm not doing this thing. But then like I realize how much time, if I had spent, like watching people's stories into like reading a book even. I'm not going to remember from 5 days from now what Larissa was doing her
Right.
story at X,
No.
Y, and Z premiere, whatever.
Yeah.
But I am gonna remember something that's actually like filling up my cup. But I
Right.
think that we're all, rightfully so, and me too,
Yeah.
very addicted to like the validation of it
Oh,
all.
yeah.
It's dopamine machine guns off
Yeah.
of your brain. Like that's just how it works.
100%.
So I know that I'm really trying, especially because it's my job.
Yeah.
So like there's even more than just the validation of it.
Right.
It's like my job
yeah.
is to do stuff that really has nothing to do with that.
I
Maybe
know.
something that I can share on social media, like doing like kickboxing or like whatever it is. Like I spent a lot of time doing that at one point, and
Wow. That's cool.
I have to be so good about that too.
Yeah.
Like it's hard.
Yeah. I think also being, creators across not just gaming, not just, TikTok or I think everyone across every internet, I think you get told a lot too is like, oh, well, you have it so good. How could you possibly have this to complain about? How could you possibly?
Yeah.
And that's something we've talked about a lot here, and I've talked a lot on my stream, is like, you just never know what someone's going through.
That
And-
should be so heavily emphasized.
Yeah, and people say, okay, well, how hard do you have it? You play video games for a living, or you make TikToks for a
Right.
living, and they don't realize that, one, there's a lot more that goes into that, like a
Yeah,
lot more.
unfortunately, I don't just like dance,
Yeah,
like
and
little like
it's-
TikTok dances or anything.
Yeah, your 10-hour makeup
It's
look.
it's a little more time consuming.
Yeah.
That's not even like putting into a chord like how much planning goes into it.
And
too.
then editing and all
Yeah.
of these things. It really is a job. But people don't like to think of it that way. They just like to think, oh, you have it so easy. Like,
Totally.
how could you have anything to complain about?
Of course.
And it's just, there's a lot of negativity on the internet.
But I also get from some people's perspective that
Yeah.
like they aren't seeing it how I see it. Or
Right.
whereas I will never know what a day in their shoes will be like, and nor would I assume that.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're thinking about like, what would it actually be like to live someone else's life. I think that
Right.
they're using kind of envy as a way to project their emotions onto me.
100%.
But
Yeah.
I mean, like, when people spend a lot of time going through comments of people being like, oh, like, shut up, like, you can't complain, or like,
Right. Yeah.
why are you crying?
Yeah,
like, you're so
exactly.
perfect, X, Y,
Yeah.
and Z. But I also, you have to remember that, like, that person has no idea who you are.
No.
And nor does that hold any value. So if I want to talk my shit,
Yeah.
I'm going to talk my
Yeah.
shit. Like, we all should be able to feel safe on the internet to, like,
Yeah.
express what we're going through. And something that's hard. Now, like, keep it into check if you're, like, complaining about, like, oh my
right.
God, my designer bag
Yeah,
got,
yeah,
like, one
that's-
little droplet of water on it. Like, all right.
Then I get it.
You shut up.
Because there are people who are out of touch like that. 100%.
Oh, are there ever?
Yeah, there's
Yes,
a
there
lot.
are a lot of those.
Yeah.
And I am very familiar
Yeah,
with that. And
there's
I'm
a
like,
lot.
whoa. Like, let's rein it back here.
Right. Yeah, because
'Cause-
I don't like to pretend that I have the hardest job in the world by any means.
Of course.
But like especially with it's really prevalent in the gaming community is like stalking issues and things like that. Yeah. And people are like, "That's what you signed up for." I'm like, "No,
No,
I did not.
Nobody,
I did not sign up
nobody
for that."
goes on like live or whatever it is and decide like, oh yeah, I really want like this 40-year-old man to come to my door and hang out with me.
Yeah, or send pictures of my house or any of the.
That's a huge problem. Privacy issues. I think
Huge.
that I've had to deal with that quite a bit. I have so many friends that have dealt with that.
Yeah.
But having respect for that is important. But like I get why people don't take into accord why
Right.
all of these things that they're not taking into consideration. Because
'cause
I
I
don't want to
think
go
it's
on my
good.
platform and constantly talk about like that I've dealt with things that are hard like that.
Yeah.
And obviously I do speak to that every
Yeah.
now and again. But like I want my platform to be a place of positivity.
Right.
And I'm sure you don't want to constantly talk about that
Yeah,
either.
right.
I almost feel like that invites more of that.
Right. Like for me, it was like I did a whole because it's been like the same group for like so long now. It's been like every day for 4 years. The
Yeah.
FBI was involved. There's a whole thing.
Oh my God.
But I have it so easy, right? No, but
So easy, yeah.
Yeah,
no,
and so-
totally.
but I get a lot. People say, "Well, just don't give them the attention." I'm like, I didn't give them attention for 2 years.
Yeah.
and it didn't change anything. So now it's like when I do talk about it, it's like to raise like awareness and
Totally.
things like that. But for people who don't, or if you have like a super huge following, it makes sense to not want to be like, "Hey, this is happening to me. This is happening," and then people, "Oh, well, then I can do that too." You know, like
yeah, that's kind of what I think is
spiral
gonna
out
happen.
of control. You
yeah.
know, so I totally get because I have a lot of friends too that go through that stuff and they don't talk about it at all. And I totally get it. And I can see it.
For safety reasons.
Yeah,
too.
I can totally see it both ways. So I just think that especially being a woman on the internet is like,
it comes with its
it has
perks
its challenges.
and
And
challenges.
it has
for
its,
sure.
It has its, you know, definitely pros and cons.
Yeah. But also, like, that's another thing that it's like, you have to realize that that's even a perfect example of what people are not speaking to. I have countless friends who are some people's favorite creators who have so many things that they're dealing with, whether that be like, you know, their parents divorced, major health issues, or, you know, like getting kicked out of the country, whatever it is. Like, these are real hard things. And obviously, I think that, again, it's important to check too that, like, although someone else's struggle might be bigger than someone else's, or, you know, whatever that may look like, that shouldn't discredit a person's struggle. 100%. Now, obviously, is there going to be times where, you know, you have to realize that, like, we all have clean drinking water, and we all have clothes on our back, and we have a roof over our head, and that's important to, like, be incredibly grateful for every day. I thank God for that every day. Yeah. But at the same time, I think that nobody else should go ahead and take the time out of their day to be discrediting another person's experience. Right. Absolutely. Like, now, but I can say that, but that's not going to stop anyone from doing so.
Right. It never will.
So the trolls will troll, and that's just how it's going to be. However, I think that if anything on social media, the best advice that I'd have for anyone is to have thick skin, stay in your own lane, you know, stay hungry, and don't worry about anyone else's opinion, because they're not worried about you. Yeah.
And they'll be on to the next person to troll and bully in seconds. So
hurt people. Yeah. That's one of the most important things that I have learned over the course of having my time in social media, is that's just how it's going to be. Yeah. And it's better to feel for those people and meet them in the middle and be like, actually, hey, are you okay? Yeah. I don't mean that in a condescending way. I'm like, hey, are you okay? Like, why are you saying this about me? But to meet people in the middle, I know that sometimes it's important to get people, like, off their guard and be like, hey, dude, like, to pull them aside when someone's, like, fucking with you, to be like, hey, like, are you good? Like, I'm here for you too. Right. Because it's probably not about you. No. And it pretty much usually never is. Yeah. So.
No. I think that's really beautifully put too, because you think, like, especially it's like my friends or, you know, people, it's like we're not going out of our way to be mean to people to feel this way. So they have to be hurting in some form of way. So I think that's a really good way to think about it, that kind of, at least for me, gets lost sometimes. You get so frustrated, easy. Like, oh, well, no, fuck you too, you know?
Like, sometimes there's precedent for that. Sometimes you gotta, like, I can even work on this too, where it's like there's destruction being too kind sometimes too. Yeah. Or like making too many excuses for people who, like, should treat you better. Right. However, there's balance. Right. There's a healthy balance. I know that I'm a little too nice sometimes. Yeah. But, like, when the time is right, you can also, like, be the person,
stand up
like,
for yourself and things like that. But I think it's always going to pay off to be the kinder person.
Totally.
Than to, you know, feel like you have to be defensive all the time.
Yeah, yelling gets you nowhere. No. Yelling gets you nowhere. I feel like I'm I'm not an angry person at all. No. But if it comes to my friends, I might get a little feisty. I'll be like, let me take out my nails really quick. Yeah, I will. The nails too, defense mechanism.
Oh my gosh. Yes. We were just talking about the nails. Well, I'm so mad because I used to love getting my nails done. I have bit my nails my entire life. Oh no. So I never have had nails. I get it. I have, like, toddler nails. Anytime I go in, they're like, where are they? I'm like, I don't know. And so
that's so funny.
Anytime that I do the fake ones, they just pop right off.
I get them done. So, like, they're crazy. I have, like, some
I love them.
Wild males, I always think.
I love them.
They genuinely are a little bit of a liability, but that's fine.
Yeah. They look
feel
good.
Like that's the point for me. Quite literally the point. Right. But yeah, no, that is a struggle. Again, very first world problem.
No, but
I don't actually care. But it would be nice if they stayed for longer than, like, 3 days.
And you gotta,
before I have to super glue them on. I super glue them on. Yes, which is not safe, by the way.
No, don't do that.
That's not like a pro tip. Don't listen to me. Like, kids at home, please don't listen to me.
Don't super glue.
But it does work. So
because I always wanted long ones, but for gaming they get caught in the keyboard.
That's true. Yeah.
And so I would, like, be gaming, and I'd go to move, like, and my, like, keys would, like, pop out because they get caught. I was like, oh shoot. My God.
Yeah, I can see why you have that then.
So I'm just like, I just have to have short nails if I get them done, which is such a bummer because I always feel so pretty. I'm always like,
That's fair. I feel like after I get them done, I'm
I
like,
have to talk with my hands. I'm like,
want to
making
fight?
sure,
No.
I'm like, make sure everyone can see them. No,
Yeah.
I
Talk
miss
with your
my
hands.
nails.
That's so funny. Be like, yeah, I'm totally listening.
No, because I like hate my nails so much that I'm always like
That's
under
fair.
the table and stuff. And when I get my nails, they're like, put your hand down. Like my chat will be like, what are you doing? And I'll be like, and then you guys, and then I'm like, okay, maybe this is a little much.
You're feeling yourself. That's whatever.
Or I'll be like tapping the microphone. They're like,
oh,
relax.
suddenly it's an ASMR.
If I get nails, it's an ASMR stream.
Wow.
I'm telling you. The table, the keyboard, I'm doing it all.
That would happen if I was gaming. So
You
that's
have to.
for sure.
You just like sometimes you just gotta entertain yourself too.
I can't
8
get
hours a
behind
day,
that.
you're
I can't get
live.
behind that though with the ASMR thing. Like love everyone that's into that. Or like, have you seen that?
It gives me like
everyone's
neck
talking
tingles.
about that. What is it? The AI like live stream things. Have you seen that?
Ice cream feel good.
VTubers.
Oh no!
Oh no, the NPC.
No. My friends and I, we literally cannot stop quoting it though.
It's so funny though.
It's just so funny. Because at first I was like, what the fuck is this? But then it
Yeah.
showed up on my For You page.
Oh yeah.
And I clicked on it. And then it was like 10 minutes later. I'm like, why did I just watch that for like 10 minutes of my life? Like it was,
Oh no!
I didn't even realize it.
That's so bad. Yeah, my best friend, she was talking to me about this literally months ago because she found some girl that was doing it.
Yeah.
And this is long before I guess it was like a trend.
A trend thing,
which
yeah.
is terrifying that it's a trend. I don't even want to talk about it, but
It is
yeah. So
everywhere.
now it's everywhere. Yeah,
Freaking insane.
people are making bank though. It's
I
pretty
saw it. They're
wild.
making like
I feel like we're in the dark ages of the internet.
I need to step it up. I need to get my game up.
I can't. No, I think I would rather light myself on fire than attempt to do that.
Oh my god.
Not seriously.
I just, like,
maybe
I don't
like
think I
for
could-
fun.
I don't think I could like keep a straight face. Like you
I
have to like
couldn't,
you have to
no.
stay in character.
I would like shit my pants
I-
before I could like not
I'd be-
laugh at that. But more
couldn't.
power to you. Get your bag.
No, props to them. They got the straightener with the popcorn.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
that's to like get people who aren't gifting apparently to like stay online with
To
it.
watch it,
Yes,
like-
so you'll like watch and like stay. So it's a tactic for like people's attention span, I guess, which is wild.
well, that's what's crazy is like, I think it was it like Myth and Hassan and a bunch of them started. Our friend Hassan, he does like political commentary, and
Yeah.
he started uploading it to TikTok. And I think that they started putting the Subway Surfer that was always with like the Reddit ones with his like political commentary because no
my
one was
God.
like staying or something.
oh, that's bad. Like
and it, like-
underneath it.
Yeah, it'd be like him talking and then like the Subway Surfer, and it like skyrocketed. It did like 10 times better. I
That's
was like,
my execute. That's but honestly
funny.
so smart though. Because
Yeah, you
what's
have
wild
to.
too is that like so TikTok is called TikTok because you lose track of time. TikTok.
yes, you do.
So it's like the same premise of things like that where I honestly am a little bit alarmed at like how much everyone's attention span is diminishing. I feel like
yeah.
I'm trying to really like be conscious of that, but even still like I don't know how much I can do for that. But like it's literally designed to make all of our attention spans completely diminish.
Which sucks for people like me who do 8-hour long
Yeah, that's
streams.
not
like,
good.
Yep.
That's my like, and so when I upload to TikTok, I'm like, how can I like shorten this down, all this stuff? Because even when I'm scrolling, I find myself like, I'll like look at a video, I will like drag it forward to
Yeah.
see what the video is about.
Because
It's
you
like
don't want to wait.
it's like a 30-second video, and I'm like fast forwarding. I'm like, whoa, I gotta relax.
I mean, like I forever am so afraid of everything turning into Black Mirror.
oh my god, we're already.
We're already there.
It's
like
already-
Joan's awful.
Yeah, it's literally
I don't
happening
know
right
if-
now.
Which is insane.
Wait,
I don't
what's
know
that?
if you've seen. Have any of you guys seen the episode?
I saw it. So like without ruining, well,
you can.
yeah,
you
yeah,
can talk
I guess
about
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's been out for a while. So basically, what happens is this girl or this lady, she's watching like Netflix or their version of Netflix, and there's a version of her life happening in like real time being played by Salma Hayek, and she's like, "Oh, what the heck?
Who's Joan?
Who's Joan?
Who's the lady?
Oh, okay.
And so, but it's happening so quickly. It's literally the same day that's happening. So she's like, "What the heck? I'm pissed off, Salma Hayek. What are you doing?" Turns
Salma
out,
Hayek,
turns
please.
out the whole show is done on AI,
Yeah.
which is why they're documenting her and then just
Oh my
making it
God.
So
happen.
it's also not
and-
even Salma
yeah.
Hayek. It's an
Yeah,
AI
it's not
version
even
of
her.
Oh
It's
my
an AI
God.
And then it
version
goes
of
so
her.
many levels, like,
Oh,
but it's happening
yeah.
right now.
well, yeah.
So what's interesting about that too is I actually just recently found this out, but they kind of played a trick on people from Netflix. So in your terms and agreements, when you go on Netflix. Basically, so what it was, the reason why that happened in the episode was because, ask yourself really quickly, when was the last time you actually read the terms and agreements on
once in my entire
anything
life.
ever? Never.
Never.
Absolutely never. No. It's like 48 pages. I don't have time for 2 seconds of that.
No, hell no.
So what they did basically is when people signed up for some of their agreements, a select few people had in their terms and agreements that they could make a billboard of them saying, Simon's awful, Emma's awful.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever said the agreement, whatever their name was in their photo, they're awful. And they put them up in Times Square.
No way.
Billboards of people's faces with their name and say, it was maybe I got it.
Yeah.
It would be like Emma's awful in Times Square.
What?
Yep.
What the?
And so they literally played that trick on people in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm terrified of not reading
Wait,
the
is that
terms
like
and
a black?
agreements.
Was that like for like?
It's the
Black
whole
Mirror?
Yeah,
Like,
it's like taking that to the next level because it happens in the episode, so
Yeah.
they use that as part of the marketing.
Yeah.
What? That is.
Which is genius
crazy.
marketing.
It's
Yes.
Also
that is
terrifying.
But very
Terrifying,
terrifying, yeah.
Genius.
Awful. Like so scary.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
actually that is crazy.
Isn't that insane? So like forevermore, I will just be
wow.
so concerned when I do the terms and
Yeah.
agreement. Like Apple, imagine how many people have Apple products.
Oh my
and they have
God.
I got like a new iPad yesterday.
I just-
and thought about that, and I was like, shoot, should I read this? Like, am I gonna get
How do you
like?
send this to my lawyer?
Yeah, no. Honestly, though, like it's so scary.
Well, you
So-
know that in like there's a I think it's a privacy setting because you know all those times where you're like, oh my gosh, like I could totally go for like a Starbucks or
yeah.
something, and then you're scrolling and a Starbucks ad pops up.
every time.
So like there is a setting that you can turn off because
Yeah.
it does listen.
Well,
Oh,
am I the
you
one
can
that?
turn off the setting now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still don't believe that.
Am I the only one that kind of likes it?
She's
like
like,
when
I
it's
wanted
good. When it's
Starbucks.
something
and
I
I
got
wanted Starbucks, and now that I'm like, I can click here. And get
It does kind of freak me out though. Like
No, it's
sometimes
scary.
it's helpful, and sometimes I'm a little like, I was wearing that top today, and I didn't talk about that.
That's true. I've seen
That's
like
happened
the
to
brand
me
I was wearing.
so many times where
That's true.
I'm like yesterday actually. This happened to me yesterday where I was wearing a pair of like low rise Levi jeans
Yeah.
and this top from Jaded London. Didn't talk about it once or anything. And a girl in an ad from Google was wearing the exact same pair of jeans and top, and I was
my
like,
God.
"It's fine. I'll jump off a bridge right
Yeah,
now."
I'm scared. I'm scared. That's scary.
Yeah.
Okay, that one is scary.
Super. I was not down with it at all. No.
No, I do like one time to like my mom was on the phone. I was like, oh, I gotta order toothpaste, but then
And
I
then-
forgot. But then it reminded me.
Okay,
'cause it
that's
showed up,
helpful.
and I was
That's
like,
super fair.
toothpaste.
See,
I was
that's,
like, thank you,
that's
Google.
okay. But people putting a billboard of your face in Times Square with your name and saying they're awful, that's not okay.
Ooh, that's scary.
So there's different like levels of
That's
think how
fair.
shit's gonna
Yeah.
go hit the fan. But we'll
yeah,
see.
that is actually like really terrifying. I will say.
It's weird. It's weird. I mean, like I can't help but be like, damn, that's smart though.
No, but like
Because it
I
really was.
No,
but
I'm
that is
telling
crazy.
you. But I'm like, I think I'm like the one they directed at.
Yeah.
I'm like,
maybe, man. Have you ever seen any other like Black Mirror episodes?
I watched like the first season, second season, and then I
Yeah.
stopped. I need to go back and.
Yeah, you should watch the recent season. It's
I also
pretty
want to
crazy.
start from the beginning. I think just go through it all because
Yeah.
I remember skipping around. I feel like
Yeah.
I probably missed one or two.
Well, you kind of can. It's an anthology.
Yeah, they're all
There's
different.
some
Yeah.
episodes that do refer to like previous ones.
Yeah, and I'm
where-
afraid like
Really?
I skipped over.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a
Oh,
lot.
I didn't know that.
So like that one, Black Museum.
Yes. Oh, it does. You're
it
right.
does have like references, and then they always play that same song.
Ooh.
That's true.
That's that one song. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, like over and over again.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
so
I should
wild.
do that.
Do you know why
Yeah.
it's called Black Mirror?
No.
Is because your phone is a black mirror.
No, literally the
Oh.
beginning, the intro is like a
It's a
screen
cracked black
cracking.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that scary?
Really, it's any sort of media device
Ooh,
when
that's
it's turned off your
creepy.
TV,
I
your
know.
phone.
But it's a really smart name.
Wow, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, I'm the prime victim of all of these things. I'm like, why would they call it that? Like, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't think through anything.
Sure, I'll sign up.
I'll
sign up for it.
Yeah,
that sounds
Oh my
great.
God, thank you for listening. I'll hear thanks for that. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
I am like a dream for these people.
I guess so. Hey, someone's got to be.
Someone's got to be it. It's definitely the people like me out there.
It's so funny. I try not to think about it too hard. It's the delusional.
No, because then I spiral and then it's like a whole.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No. Well, AI, I mean, AI scares the shit out of me, I will say.
Yeah.
And like, I never got into the. okay, do you remember back like a few years ago, before AI was like popping, there was like you could download that app and it was like a robot friend that would talk with you back and forth?
No. That's like the Snapchat.
It's exactly what the Snapchat
AI
is
thing,
now,
though.
but like it
That
had like
one
a robot.
gets me so good. I try and like fuck her up
No,
all the time,
they're
or it,
smart.
or whatever gender it is.
They're
I asked
smart.
if it had a gender, and it was like yes. And then I was like, "Aren't you supposed to be genderless?" And she was like, "Yeah," or he was like, or it was like, whatever it is.
You're like, well, tell me.
Yeah. So I purposely try and like every now and again when I'm in like a silly, goofy mood,
Yeah.
I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And I'll like curse at it a lot,
Yeah.
and it gets really mad at me.
They get like so offended.
Yeah, so
But-
it's literally like I'm 12. Like I will go on there and like purposefully like try and mess
It's
with it.
so entertaining.
It's so fun.
But there was years ago. I wonder if anyone knows the name of it in the comments. I remember I was streaming at the time, and I was like, "Oh, my robot wants to talk to me" because I got a notification or
What
something.
was that? I feel like I should know what this is.
And my chat was like, "You're weird. What? You are so weird for that." And now everyone's talking to their Snapchat AI. Look
what
at
comes
them
around
now.
goes around. God,
They said I was weird. I bet
They don't get
it. They don't get it. You guys don't get it.
that's so funny. I don't know what this is. This is an app.
Yeah, it was an app, and I.
Oh,
literally
is it
was-
the one? It's not the one where you're like guessing who the celebrity is.
No, the
Do you know what I'm talking about though?
Akinator,
Yeah.
I love
That thing. I
name.
totally forgot about that. That's
The
hilarious.
best feeling. You know, we're talking about the dopamine hits. The first time that I found
It's
the first time that I found myself on that, I was like, "You know me?"
yeah.
Like,
they know everyone. It's very
I was
scary.
like, "Guys, really stop! You're too nice."
I love that.
So you're like, it's so scary.
To me, well, I try not to think about it too hard again, but
Yeah.
that does freak me out a little bit. To me, I feel like I will never be able to like look at myself and think that I'm like a public figure.
right.
So I guess
Yeah.
when I have interactions that are like that, or even like online with things like that, I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm just me.
I'm
like
just a person.
That's
Yeah.
so weird, but yeah, I don't know.
Like when people like come up to you in public, you're like,
I'm so honored. First of
No,
all,
I know, but
like
it's, like,
I genuinely
crazy,
like to anyone
right?
that does. It means the world to me, and I make sure that they know that.
Yeah.
Because what the heck?
because it's startling. It's like,
it's
wait,
so crazy.
they're like, Brooke. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm
I
like,
don't
yes?
know. It means the world.
Yeah.
Like I think that the fact that someone would come up to me and be like, "Hey, like I like what you do," or even just like know who I am. That's pretty wild. So I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, internally, I am absolutely losing my goddamn mind.
Yeah.
So there's that.
It's trippy.
Yeah. I mean that's not how I view myself, and I hope I never do for that
never.
fact. I never want to be like, yeah, like you are coming up to me.
right,
But,
yeah.
But like at the same time, I don't know. It is pretty wild.
Isn't that crazy?
Or they've like come up to like my mom because she's been in like a couple of
Oh.
videos. That freaks her out so much.
Oh,
I feel
does
so
it?
bad. So
Oh.
sorry, Elizabeth, about that. But yeah,
That's
so
funny.
that is pretty wild.
yeah, that's gotta be like. She's like, wait.
Especially like in my hometown
Yeah.
when that's happened. I'm like, that's a whole other. I feel like
That's
that's like a glitch
different.
in the matrix where I'm like, there's no way.
No, when I go home to like the bars, like
Yeah.
at home, and everyone's like, Brooke, you're killing it in LA. I'm
That's
like,
awesome though. That's gotta
like,
like feel
what?
good though. I hope that you like take that in though.
yeah, because I'm
You know,
like,
because other people will like perceive you maybe differently than you are. I think when we're in such a
100%.
saturated environment, being in Los Angeles,
Yes.
it's easy to feel like you're not doing enough. But
100%.
it's also important to like ground yourself in other instances where it's like people see that you're grinding.
Right,
You know?
I'm like-
so like
I'm
good
like,
on you, dude.
They like keep track. I'm like, you guys like
As
keep track of what I'm
should.
doing. They're
As
like,
they should.
of course, we just saw your video with the, and I'm like, whoa. I was like, wait, they care.
That's gotta feel so good
yeah,
though.
it's pretty cool because like they really are two separate worlds in my mind. And
Very different, yeah.
when
Denver,
they-
Colorado's a little different than Los Angeles.
yeah, and I was from Oregon, so I was
See,
like,
that's very different.
yeah,
then, yeah.
I was like, what the hell is Los Angeles?
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, so it was definitely when those worlds kind of like come together, it's really weird. Especially my best friend from Oregon just moved here, so now like she's like great friends with all my friends here. I'm
Yeah.
like, my worlds are colliding, and
That's
it's
crazy.
trippy.
That's so wild.
Yeah, but it's been, I mean, it's really cool to kind of have it all branched together because
I love that. Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
oh, it's-
I think that going home and grounding yourself too is really important.
I mean, going home and like spending time with family, and Oregon's like we're so big on like hikes and
Yeah, that's
you
the
know
same
like
with Colorado.
nature and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like going back home. It's just like a different.
Yeah,
It's just a different feel. Like
100%.
it's great here, the sunshine, all that stuff, but like nothing hits like some rain when you go home. Or
No,
you're on
I
it.
agree.
Oh, it's the best.
This is funny because I obviously like I'm self-aware and I know that externally I don't look like a nature girly. at all. Like not
Just
even a
because you're
little
good at
bit.
makeup doesn't mean you can't be a nature girly.
Amen to that. But I am self-aware that it does. Nobody would be like, yeah, she wants to go on a hike. Like look at her in those stiletto heels. Yeah. But like my whole life growing up, like I would ski race.
Wow.
Like snowboard a little bit, do all sorts of things. Like I was and I hiked like so many mountains, and like I'm super passionate about that stuff. So like as much as it doesn't look like it, I think that like making time for that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like having hobbies outside of everything going on in LA is so important. I find that a lot of people lose track of things that aren't just like party related. So
especially because like your hobby, like I think for both of us, like my hobby was gaming.
Yeah.
And then it turns into your work. If you love doing makeup and things like that, and then all of a sudden this is my work when I do it. So you have to find other
go
things that you
outside,
love.
touch some grass.
Touch some grass.
It's good for you.
Read a book, you know, all that stuff. So.
Yeah. But it is funny. I remember there was like someone that swiped up on like some dating app of mine, and I think that I said somewhere on there that I was like from Colorado, and I kind of talked about all of that stuff, and they were like, "Yeah, I really don't peg you as that." And I was like, "I understand. It's okay. I get it. I definitely understand that." I think I had like a photo. I have like one photo on there that's I think like it's like skeleton makeup that I did.
Oh yeah.
And so many people swipe up on that, like asking me to murder them.
Oh my god.
Like, I'm not kidding. I have so many screenshots where they're like, you look like you'd kill me, and I enjoy it. And I'm like, maybe I should get off the dating apps.
Maybe you should make that one your main picture.
No,
You're getting lots of
someone texted me on, like, my phone today, and I had no idea who it was, which I feel bad about. But it was someone that I guess I matched with on Riot, like, forever ago.
Oh, no.
And I was like, hey, like, I don't have this number, because I guess we'd never texted on there. And he was like, oh yeah, like it's so and so, and like I was the one that said like I'd love for you to like murder me in cold blood.
Then you respond, which one? Yeah, you're not narrowing it down.
Yeah, well, first of all, that was my first thought was, oh dear God, the fact that I don't know who this one is such a bigger issue than the fact that I just got that text.
Oh my god.
And that I gave him my number and was like engaging with that. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. I think that someone needs to take me to the silly tank and take the dating apps away. But
no more dating.
Yeah, so that was.
You were like, this is a good idea.
No, it was a good Monday morning like little wake up call there. Yeah. So yeah, get me off of all of those.
That is my favorite part though of like my single friends is like swiping on, because I'm in a happy relationship of 4 years. Like I'm not, you know.
That's awesome. I'm gonna jump out a window. No, it's fine. It's totally fine.
No,
yeah.
That came off so like
I'm
in a happy relationship.
No, I'm so happy for you, but like I will light myself on fire. You know. Yes.
Definitely feel that. So I'm like love the swiping aspect. I
don't really do it that much, but I do it every now and again as if it's my temple run, which is terrible. So bad. I'm actually like so afraid of going on like dating app dates. I've never gone on one, but I have them.
No, because it's fun to like look.
Yeah, it's also fun when someone texts you asking you to murder them.
Right. Totally a positive and, you know, great first date experience.
That has to be funny to watch like kind of all of those things, because I know that like for me, as much as I might like be on dating apps, I feel like that's not where I'm gonna like ever find that sort of relationship. I'm actually like I'm not really into like all the hookup culture of Los Angeles.
No.
Which, hey, more power to you if you are. Like, the girlies, the gays, the wherever you are on that spectrum, go for it.
Right.
But dating apps, I do feel like kind of invites that environment usually.
Yeah.
Usually.
I would
however,
say most of the time,
maybe I'm judging a book by its cover, but there's a lot of that in Los Angeles, and I don't really have the time for that.
No, and it's like you put all your energy into someone, and then it's like...
Yeah, I really want to, like, when I meet someone, I feel like it's always through, like, right time, right place.
Yeah.
And I'm in the right place mentally when that's happened, and, like, it's so important for me to, like, have my friendships be on the same basis of...
I think so, too.
Of relationships, and that's hard with dating apps. Like, they're funny. They're so much fun.
Entertaining.
They are my temple run, but like, am I taking it that seriously? Not really, unfortunately. But maybe I should. All my friends are like, you should actually like try and do it. And I'm like, well, I just don't give a fuck.
I know.
So
because it's like, I do hear so many success stories. Like,
yes,
I met this person.
Because they all met their like girlfriends or boyfriends. On one of my best friend has been in a relationship, the most beautiful, loving, wonderful relationship for 5 years. I'm so happy for her.
So happy.
So happy for
So
her.
happy
You
for
can
her.
see the joy on my face. It's fine. And she met him on Tinder. And every time
Wow.
I'm just like that. Every time I think about that, it's like a brain aneurysm.
Yeah, but you just never know. It's like, how much garbage do you got to go through?
Yeah, it's not worth it. I just feel like I'll meet the right person in the right place. And until then, like, I feel like the best dating advice that I've ever gotten was that 10s find 10s. So just work on being a 10 for yourself. And I feel like you find someone who's ready to meet you and match you there. You know what I mean? Instead of like constantly pawning or like putting all my time into that, I feel like that's kind of robbing me from like actually being able to meet the right person.
Right. And
Which-
you never want to have to like chase, like, it should be easy.
Yeah.
You know, you shouldn't have to like put all this effort in. What is he doing? Else is he talking to? Like, whatever. I like never was about that. And so when you meet someone, it's like, oh,
Exactly.
it's easy. It's you're confident. I think that's
I
the
feel
key.
like also like independence a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
when
yes.
when I met my fiance, like she's like so independent, like she's just doing her own thing, and then you guys obviously like you guys want to be able to come together from time to
Right.
time,
Of
like
course.
you know,
Yeah.
in a
You
relationship.
want to like
but
hate each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
That's
I'll never
definitely
see
a
you or
good
whatever. But like
factor.
having that little bit of independence where you're like, oh, you're going off to do your own thing.
Yeah.
I'm doing here. I'm not
That is
constantly
what I
like
want.
checking in. That's the best.
Yeah.
Well, other than also just being like a really good friend.
Of course.
Because
Yeah.
like
Totally.
when I first met my fiance, I actually hated her
Oh, yeah.
at first. Yeah.
Haters to
way.
lovers.
It was,
enemies
I
to
did not-
lovers.
No,
We've been
yeah.
reading too many
Can we
books.
be
Yeah,
lovers?
whoa,
And then
someone
she
take me
became
away.
like one of my really good friends for like 2 years. And then things just, happened.
Gradually
Oh my
escalate.
God.
And
How did that
then-
happen though?
Yeah.
Like I have a couple friends
okay,
where I
well, I'll
like
explain it.
underlyingly
I
where
wanna
I'm like,
hear it.
Let me
maybe.
explain this. I'll explain this quickly. So first time I met her, I was working. I worked at this YouTube channel called React.
Yeah.
It was,
Oh,
used
yeah.
to be Fine Bros.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I know that
Yeah.
one. Yep, everyone else does too.
Back in the day, back in like 2012.
Oh my god.
So, anyways, I worked there as a crafty. For people who don't know, that's like the snacks on stuff and whatnot. Crafty PA. So I had really tight budget, and I had everything like, everything was good, everything was accounted for. So the people who worked at the office were coming in to visit the shoot, and she came in with like all the editors. She came in like the ringleader. I hadn't met her before. And they came and they raided the entire crafty. I got talked to by the director. They're like, yo, you need to step it up. Like, what happened? And I was like, I couldn't do anything. I had to make it up with them by making like cheese plates and like walking
No
around and giving it to
way!
people. So anyways, I hated her from
Oh
then.
my
I was like,
God.
this.
This word, this choice word.
So anyways, I eventually became full-time at the company, and she worked there too, and got to know her and whatever, became friends. And then there was a day like 2 years after where the power went out at work.
Oh my god.
And
Oh my god,
so
we're in a
she-
dark room together, and suddenly there's just so much chemistry.
This is literally just like the books we read.
I gotta take out my hate all over you.
So, well, no, we were friends then.
Okay.
So
we're
anyways,
friends now.
Whatever, yeah.
So she lived like pretty far away, and so people were like, "Oh, just go work from home or whatever." And she was like, "I don't want to deal with the traffic." She had like been over and like with other people and stuff, and she was like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh, you can just come stay at my place, work
Right.
and whatever."
Right.
And I was like, "Hey, you want to watch a movie? We'll watch Chef.
It always starts with a
we'll
goddamn
watch
movie.
The Babadook."
Oh my god. Did you actually watch the
Yeah, we watched like four. We watched like four, like 3 or 4 movies.
Oh my god.
And then
I would love that.
Yeah, I mean, one thing led to another,
And
we were
suddenly you
on the
weren't watching
couch
the
and
movie.
She turned.
Suddenly there was a
and,
different movie on, and nobody remembers the plot.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
So I always tell her. I was like, you turned. 'Cause, like when you're like snuggling
Yeah,
with
oh,
someone.
yeah.
So it was kind of like that. And I
She
was just
went
like
for
this,
it.
They've
and
been
then she
making eye
turned.
contact for too long.
Yeah. She went
Wow.
for it.
And the rest is
All right,
history.
I guess all it takes is the Babadook.
And now we have an 8-month-old
Yeah.
baby. So
Oh my
Cutest little baby.
gosh, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you
Oh my
guys.
God.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
I can't
Damn.
be started. I hated her.
No,
Such a cute
That's
story,
so
though.
funny. I
That
can't.
is such a cute story.
That
I
is
love
actually really
Yeah.
cool.
But my
It always
point
starts
is
with a movie.
friends, like
Yes.
being really good friends
Yeah.
with your significant other is like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I feel like you just are like,
Yeah.
what do you talk about?
it can't
I
just
don't know.
be
Lust.
flesh.
Yeah.
Lust.
Flesh. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It can't just be flesh and blood.
Oh my god.
Weren't you the one
Damn,
who
that's
said you'd
really what I
murder
thought it
me?
was gonna be. God, I guess it just can't be flesh and blood. That Raya guy that texted me is
Raya,
gonna be real upset about
The
that.
murderer.
Oof, yeah, no flesh and blood for him yet. Yeah, no, that's very true.
Wow.
Friendship is such a huge part of that.
Yeah.
I know that I definitely want to be best friends with my significant other.
Yeah, you got it.
And anytime that like I have dated someone in like the recent times,
Yeah.
that's always been like my favorite part about
Yeah.
like our relationships is because like I feel like when you start on a friendship basis too, it makes it so much more amicable when like you know it's not going to work out too.
Right.
You know,
it's not
like I have an ex of mine where it's like we were best friends for such a long time that like there will never be a problem.
right.
I know that a lot of people think that it's like a bad thing to be friends with some of your exes.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you guys need to be like, you know, like close like you were before, but it's possible to
Right.
like be like respectful and like be cool with your exes.
Right,
I don't
or,
know
like,
why that's
in a
so
group,
taboo.
Like, or if like they're out where you're at, it doesn't have to be
Totally.
like, oh my god, I'm leaving.
Obviously,
you know?
there's some instances where I think that space is like super, like space is healthy from your exes too.
100%.
Especially if like you feel like there's like lingering feelings or
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
whatever it is, like space is important. But that doesn't mean that like you always have to be like keying your
Right.
ex's car or
Right.
something like that. Like
Right.
it doesn't always need to be that way.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting to think about that because I know some people really like feel very strongly about like there needs to be like some constant disdain with someone after a
Right.
breakup.
Yeah. 'cause
And
I
there
feel
just
like,
doesn't.
I feel like
you
sometimes
can be
they
cool.
feel like they like can't move on if there's not. Do you
That's
know what I mean?
fair. I think that some people need to make people the villain
Yeah.
in order for their story to play out right in their head.
Right.
Which is fair, but also like there's a way to just like
Doesn't have
healthy
to be that
distance.
way.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's cool to be all right with all of your exes,
Yeah.
but it depends.
Yeah.
You're in a 4-year-long relationship. That's awesome.
Well, we met on Fortnite, so
No way. Oh my god.
we met on Fortnite.
No
So,
way.
Yeah, that really authentic, cute meet you want. To, yeah. No.
You
Fortnite
met him on
lobby.
Fortnite?
Well, we were both streamers, and
That's amazing.
Do you know who
That's
Corinna
amazing.
Kopf is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at a party with her like the other day.
Oh my god! So
Yeah.
Corinna, I bought her merch. This was like 4 years ago. I bought her merch and I posted a picture in it.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Hey, I saw your picture, and then I saw that you stream on Twitch. Let's
Yeah.
play games sometime."
Oh, that's awesome.
And I
She's,
was like-
she streams, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And I was like fangirling. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Like I had like
I don't know her, but she seems dope.
yeah, no, very, very, very nice. And so I was like, holy shit, like, oh my God. And so one day she came into my stream and like donated, she's like $5. She's like, come play in my lobby right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And so
That's
I
so
go
fun.
and I had like 50 viewers at the time.
Yeah.
And I joined into a lobby, and it was when her and her ex-boyfriend, Turner, and they were setting me up on a blind date with my boyfriend.
But
on
you
Fortnite.
didn't know?
No. I just joined and they're like, "Oh, so are
No
you single,
way.
Brooke?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, Mason's single too." And like,
Oh, it's so funny. You should
Yeah.
like not be single anymore with each other.
literally. And so Mason, I was the first girl he'd ever even talked to.
No way.
Yeah, because he was just a little gamer boy that
Oh, that's
didn't
so-
leave his room.
He was a gamer boy. She
Yeah.
says he a little boy.
Exactly.
That's so funny.
But yeah, so that's how we met. Is they were setting us up on a
That's
blind
so
date.
cute.
And
Oh my
that's-
goodness.
Yeah. It was
Wow,
crazy.
that's such a cool story. I feel like I will never have a story that cool. I feel like I'm
Well-
just meet people at like events.
It was very awkward. And
Was
the whole,
it?
And the whole thing is on YouTube. It's like really traumatizing. Now, like my kids one day are gonna have to see like us meet. Like it's really
That's
bad.
gonna be there forever.
I
and
know
ever.
it's terrible. Like and it's
Have you
so-
guys ever watched it back?
Yeah, we did. We reacted to it. Like I think it was like on our 2-year anniversary or something.
That's so
What a
funny.
present.
It was terrible.
Yeah, so
He's like, I shower like once a week. I was like, what? Like it was terrible. It was
Why,
bad.
why did he tell you that? I feel like that's
It was
just
like he couldn't even think of anything to talk about. So I think it. And then he was like,
once a week.
so he went with that.
and
He went with
like,
that.
he was
Okay.
like- he's like, I don't drive. I don't have a license. I was like, okay, that's okay. Like I was just like, it was so.
I'm
bad.
also a serial killer. I just
Yeah,
want to
Blurting
get
out.
out my chest.
literally. It was really
I'll eat you
bad.
alive.
Like yeah. So
Oh
that,
my
that was
god.
kind of the
Well, I
vibe.
guess he was just getting it all out there.
no
and you
surprises.
took him as it was.
I did.
So
I
that's
really
amazing.
did.
That's a really beautiful thing. I actually recently have done a couple of like dating shows on YouTube.
Ooh.
Yeah, so David Alvarezi, that's his YouTube channel. David,
right.
shout out to David. He's such a cool, kind person. But he's like past 1 million subscribers on there now, and he just hit it recently. But I have done it twice now, and I did like one other video with him, but we're doing a live show on the 9th in Los Angeles. So that's going to be interesting. So not only will that be on YouTube forever, it's also going to be in front of a live audience. So I don't know why I do these things to myself, but nonetheless,
they're good memories.
It's happening and I agreed to it. So yeah, hopefully good memories. I hope so. But it was so fun the other times.
Yeah. Well,
kind of crazy to have like people on Twitch like reacting.
Right.
And like people making videos of like reactions to the video. That was actually so fun to watch though. There was one that was like a Valentine's Day video.
Oh yeah.
Where they like judged, I think it was like 6 or 7 girls based off their Valentine's Day outfit.
Oh my God.
And then there was another one that where like all of his friends chose who the girl was.
Wow.
So I don't know. Such a weird experience,
fun.
but so
good
fun.
Content.
That'd be a cool way to meet someone. I don't know if that'll end up being the case, but that would be a really cool story.
Wow, that would be a really cool way to meet someone.
Yeah, definitely. That Fortnite's pretty cool too, though. I wish I could say that. That's so funny.
Oh my God, it's like I might as well just say I met my boyfriend in Among Us. Like it's just a cringy era.
Oh no, that is not good.
Oh my God,
in Among Us,
I just can't do it. Oh my God. Okay,
hilarious. Before
we end, I want to talk about your future plans. What you see for yourself, because you're already so successful, and you're what?
I'm 19.
19.
Yeah.
That is insane. So you're so young, so much potential.
Thank you.
What do you see next for yourself, and what do you kind of want to pursue?
Honestly, I think a couple of things. I mean, I have always been super passionate about acting. Obviously, right now that's sensitive and that's not to be explored at the time.
Right.
But, you know, if and when that does improve for rightfully being paid for SAG actors, then, you know, obviously that will be something to be re-explored. But that's incredibly important to me to be very sensitive to that, because it's crazy that people are getting paid like a penny for their streaming episodes. That literally there are articles showing major actors getting paid like a penny for an episode. So that's to be explored later, but that's definitely something I'm incredibly passionate about. I think that also myself, I would love to get into the podcasting space too. So I'm actually working on that right now. To try and have my own podcast. So
love that.
I'll have to have you on when I
when I
have that completed.
Be so fun.
But yeah, I mean, like I think that it's been a really big part of my online career to do a lot of the creative things. Yeah. Whether that be fashion or makeup or things like that. But as of like the past year, I think I've tried to show more of like who I actually am.
Right.
Because obviously, you know, when I'm doing a makeup look, it's not always about like my personality. It's more about the art of it, which I love. Yeah. And that's a great thing, but I would love to get more close up with my audience and like have them really get what's behind all of that. So that's a huge thing that I would like to do in the future. But there's so many things, and I'm really excited. I'm traveling a lot too. I just got back from Europe and doing a lot more of that. But yeah, I mean, I'm still going to be doing a lot of stuff with various makeup brands, and hope to kind of continue forward with all of that.
That is amazing. I mean, I'm speaking for myself, and I'm sure everyone who just watched this episode, like, you are so mature and well-spoken.
Oh, thank you.
For being 19 years old. That blows my mind, number one, especially with how successful you are. And
that's so
I think
nice.
podcasting and like you expanding to your audience, like, you're just a likable, smart, mature person.
Oh,
so
thank you so much.
So
are you. I appreciate it. For real. Absolutely.
But I think you're going to do amazing in
anything you do.
So
I really appreciate that, genuinely. And thank you so much for having me on. And I'm so excited for future things, even a little bit of music, maybe.
Ooh.
But again, that's for the future. But
I love that.
I really appreciate you saying that, because you were such a joy to be around as well. So the girls love the girls.
The girls love the girls.
We do. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
Thank
this
you
was so fun,
much.
guys.
I had a blast.
If
you guys had a blast watching, make sure you guys leave a like, a comment, subscribe to the channel. Wherever you're listening, 5 stars, 5 whatever the flip it is.
What she said.
I don't know. That's what she said.
Exactly.
That is what she said. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will, or listening, I guess. It's a podcast. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.